Good morning everyone, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do a video today of how I set up my traveler's notebook when I am literally going on a trip. This is just basically, my system that I like to use when I'm, traveling, if I'm taking a short trip, long trip, whatever it may be. I have found that this is the system that kind of works for me, and it's kind of, it's helpful to, document some of the things that I collect as and when I'm traveling, memories, ephemera, whatever it may be. That's probably what we'll be talking about today. I have this Camel TN. This is the standard size from Travelers Company, previously known as Midori. But what I have here, and just a little bit of lore, I know that the Camel is quite different from the other TNs. Like, this is more suede-y and not exactly like the other leathers. But I've also seen some of the Camels that, have been used for several years starting to develop a really nice patina, which is why I kind of, I love the color. It's just the feel is something that it's, you really need to get used to. So I have this TN that I have set up with, some of the TN, like the Traveler's Notebook standard inserts. I have the clear zipper case that has been put through the the elastic that is in the leather itself. I also have like this standard craft folder and one insert that I have that you get with your purchase of your traveler's notebook. That's the one that I'm using, and I have kept it in here. This is a pencil board, so I have the pencil board as well that I just tuck into the clear or the zipper case in here. And I also have this trifold, I think this is a letter size trifold fold out that you can use for putting your documents in. So it's pretty functional. I'll talk about how I typically use it and how I can add to the system depending on how long of a trip I'm going for and how I'm traveling as well. So the clear zipper case is like probably a staple in the Travelers Company products, and a lot of people do tend to use it. So what I typically like to put in here is, if I'm going on a longer trip or if I need to take my passport with me, I try to keep my passport in here. This is not my passport. This is basically one of the passport inserts of a passport TN. But this actually fits into the clear zipper case pretty well. So if you're taking your passport, which is this size, and probably this many pages, it actually fits in your standard pretty well. And you do have the ability to close it. You can take it out, whatever it may be. So if I'm going on a longer trip, that's what I have. And this particular thing, this is my card, like my shop card. And I just put clear Scotch tape, just wound like washi, like a washi sample. And I just use it for sticking stuff that I, collect throughout the journey. Not necessarily, I might not use it to stick the items right away. But if I do get some time during my trip, I like to, put them in my, like actually stick it into my journal rather than waiting for me to come back and then start putting it. So I usually have this as well. I also keep like additional washi samples, again, stuff that this is only meant for, like if I want to stick something in here right away. That's just the whole intent of it. But this is what I'd like to keep in this particular pocket. I typically carry a pen with me as well, and I also will talk about the way that I carry that pen along with my weeks. But in the event I don't carry my weeks with me, I typically also put that pen into this clear zipper case. So you have the ability to like close all of them together. So this is how it would look. Now let me take the pen out for a second and let me show you like what the other stuff is used for, and we'll talk about the weeks in a bit. I have this craft folder, which is essentially meant to, collect stuff. I also keep like my pencil board at the back here. And if I have like boarding passes, if I'm going on a trip, I typically put them in here so that I can just, put them into the book later on. And that's essentially what I'm using the craft folder for. And it works pretty decently. Now on to like the actual book. This is, if you haven't seen this is actually one of the booklets that the booklet that comes with like your Hobonichi purchase for 2025. So every year Hobonichi has like a tiny booklet that they put into any book that you purchase. Like if you're purchasing a cousin or a weeks or an original, you usually have like the lore of Hobonichi and what that year stands for. And I really loved this year's, like the 2025's booklet. It was something very out of pocket, considering Hobonichi doesn't do like very quirky, creepy-ish kind of art. So I just took that out and used it as a cover for my TN. And I actually really like it, the way it looks. And because, this is like red, there's orange, and it goes well with this pencil board, I have it in here. So it usually comes in this kind of a craft folder paper. So if you have like good ephemera or like pieces of like wrapping paper that you like to collect, you can always use it for, decorating or just wrapping your books that way. I typically have my information on the left in case I lose this, and I hope that somebody will be able to get it back to me, which I've just covered it up with a sticky note. And like getting into like details of, how I go about putting stuff in, like I typically do it like chronologically. So I just have one tiny trip in here that I went to recently, and it's just, I have like my boarding pass, like the boarding pass that I went source to destination, and just, just a little bit of pictures. Like I click the pictures on my phone, and I put them into like a Canva template, and I just print it out on my regular printer. So this is not like from a Canon Ivy, I think, like that's the popular one that's on there. Like it's like a pocket portable kind of a printer that you can use to click pictures and like print your pictures instantly. So that's not what I'm using. I'm just using like my regular printer, and I'm just using Canva to just upload the images that I've taken, and I just print them off after I get back from my trip. And I typically like to collect anything that that I get throughout the journey. Like these are like snacks that you get from the Southwest Airlines, which, I just tape them in here after having it, and just simply writing whatever I want to. I also like, at least for this trip, I was in Houston, and I feel a lot more comfortable now, like asking for stickers if there's, if I'm going to a specific place. Like this was a restaurant that we went to like the first day. It's called Mala. And it was like amazing food. And I asked the server whether they have like stickers, and she actually gave one to me. And she was very like, it was, I feel a lot more comfortable asking for that nowadays. So in same case for like we went to a cafe like quite nearby the place as well, which, they had like stickers already on my coffee cup. So I just took them out and pasted it. It's not a Houston trip, or it's not like a popular city trip without visiting Kinokuniya for me. So I also got like a sticker from Kinokuniya where, the cashier actually just gave it to me. So I'm glad that, people know that I like journaling, whatever. But again, like it's just random stuff. I just write about what we did. If any of the photos that I take, like I just print them off, like, and print and stick them later on, like when I'm back from my trip. But if there's stuff that I've purchased or stuff that I've collected, I try to make space for it and just put them on. Like I purchased this Deco Rush tape, the one piece Hobonichi Deco Rush tape from Kinokuniya, and I was just, you know, reusing the packaging and just putting it in there. So that's basically it, you know, like from an overview perspective, like what do I collect? This is just a coaster from one of the restaurants, and it's just, you know, similar stuff. Like, as it was a very short trip, so if there's anything that I do collect, like my boarding passes, like on my way back, is also like stuck in here. So it's pretty simple, and it's not that I have to use an entire book for an entire, like, just one trip. So I intend to use this, like, again, like the next trip I will start in here, and I just put an index in there. So that's the main content. Now this one right here, I find this a lot more, you know, effective if you're like going on a long trip and you need to put in some documents. I think a letter size fits in here pretty decently. So let me try and put that in and show you. Okay, so I've managed to put in like a paper that I accidentally printed on. I think I didn't realize that I didn't have sticker paper inside my printer, but I just printed it on regular paper when it was like printing on something else. So I just have this in here, but if you have like paper documents that you want to carry with you, this is actually a very good setup. Like you have the papers tucked in here, and you have just like one place to keep it. And obviously you can keep it in your you know, in the clear case or in the craft folder, but I feel like this is a lot more structured for me. The only additional thing I will say about this is, you know, apart from this setup that I occasionally also like bringing my weeks with me. If it's a longer trip, I would maybe bring my weeks as well, because I have separation anxiety when it comes to this particular planner, so I like having this with me at all times. So how it works is I take all of this stuff out, like all of the additional things, including the pencil board. Like I take all of this out, and I have this pen, the clear case, and I think I've shown this before. I just loop it in through like the back pocket of the clear zipper case, and I have access to this pen as well. So instead of having the pen tucked in here, and if I'm bringing my weeks along with me, I can have this as one system as I travel. And this is a little heavy, mind you, but it's not that I have to have it. It's just that it is good for me to carry it if I really want to. So I'm pretty happy with the way that, you know, this thing works, like having this structure and this setup where I can take stuff out. Like I'm not necessarily going to take my passport with me every single time I'm, you know, leaving my hotel room. Maybe I should, but it might not be necessary all the time. So I can take this out and keep it. And same goes for like, I don't have to take you know, the weeks every single place I'm going to, especially when I'm traveling, because it's more of a trip rather than like a planning, journaling kind of a thing. So I may just take this out and keep this separate. So I like having that flexibility, and that's what the TN really, you know, I like having that TN feel. So I don't keep more than one booklet, like one insert, TN specific insert, but I do like having that week's compatibility with this. So that's, you know, pretty much it. I love having this setup. It's new, I will say, right? It is new, but I feel like this is something that I can stick to without worrying about how it's gonna serve me or anything. I would like to see this grow and age as I grow and age. Give it enough time for it to stick. And since this is something that fits well with my existing Hobonichi week system, I'm, you know, happy with the way I've kind of set it up. So that's pretty much it. I don't think I have anything else to report, but you know, I had a nice trip to Houston. Spent a lot of time in Kinokuniya, and you know, I had like a wonderful time with my friends. Let me know if you like this setup, how you would do it differently. I'm not very well aware of all the different types of inserts Traveler's Notebook has. I have not yet researched fully into that system to see however many inserts they have. I know Yoseka has a video that shows all of the different types of inserts that you can purchase, but I have not like paid enough attention or paid full attention to see whether some of it can work for me. But let me know if there's something that you will change in my system or add or delete, and I will be happy to engage in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.